The world of fitness and bodybuilding has spent decades trying to derive the golden formula for hypertrophy. We hear advice about the magic range of 8 to 12 repetitions, the necessity of training to failure, or conversely, leaving some reps in the tank. But the main tragedy of the modern gym is that two people can follow an absolutely identical program, yet one will turn into a titan, while the other simply wastes their time and ends up with joint inflammation. Why does this happen? The answer lies deep within us, in microscopic structures called muscle fibers. Every muscle in your body is a complex cocktail of different cell types. Traditionally, they are divided into two main categories: fast twitch, white, and slow twitch, red fibers. Fast twitch fibers are your internal sprinters and weightlifters. They possess colossal strength, are capable of generating explosive power, and have the highest potential for increasing in volume. However, they have a critical drawback: they fatigue extremely quickly. On the other hand, slow twitch fibers are the marathon runners. They're thin, saturated with myoglobin and capillaries, which allows them to work for hours using oxygen. They're highly resilient, but their ability to grow in thickness is much lower than their fast-twitch counterparts. The problem is that the ratio of these fibers in each person is unique and genetically predetermined. This is your biological passport that you received at birth. If you try to train against your nature, you are fighting your own biology. In this chapter, we will analyze the phenomenon of fast athletes. These are people who are naturally designed for low-rep training. If you've noticed that heavy weights come easily to you, but by the 8th repetition you feel a sharp drop in strength, you are likely the owner of a predominant number of fast fibers. For such athletes, classic high-rep training is a road to nowhere. By trying to perform 15 or 20 repetitions with a light weight, they simply do not reach the activation threshold of their primary growth units. Fast fibers only kick in when the load becomes truly extreme. They need mechanical stress. They need the sensation of a massive weight that literally crushes them into the floor. For a fast athlete, low-rep training is not a choice, it is a necessity. It is the only way to tap into the reserves that nature has embedded in their muscles. Working in the range of 1 to 5 repetitions is the ideal stimulus for hypertrophy for them, because this is where maximum recruitment of the most powerful motor units is achieved. Understanding your type is the first step towards stopping hitting your head against the wall of other people's methods and starting to build the body that is encoded in your DNA. If the first group of athletes are living, explosive mechanisms, the second group represents the true embodiment of tirelessness. We move on to the analysis of those whose genetic profile is dominated by slow-twitch muscle fibers. In the world of professional sports, they're often mistakenly written off with claims that it is impossible to turn a marathon runner into a Mr. Olympia. However, this is a profound misconception. The problem isn't a lack of potential for growth, but the wrong choice of tools. For an athlete with a predominance of slow fibers, attempting to work in a power style with low repetitions is a dead end that leads only to joint injuries, not muscle volume. Slow twitch fibers possess a high density of mitochondria and capillaries. They feed on oxygen and energy from fat oxidation. To force such fibers to hypertrophy, you don't just load them with weight, you must exhaust them. The mechanical tension that fast athletes love so much works only halfway. The key factor for the growth of resilient muscles is metabolic stress and time under tension. If your set lasts 10 seconds, slow fibers won't even wake up. They need exposure for 40, 60, or even 90 seconds. This is where the legendary high-rep training is born, which many unfairly consider useless for mass. When such an athlete performs 15, 20, or 30 repetitions, a cascade of biochemical reactions occurs in their muscles. The accumulation of lactate, hydrogen ions, and blood flow restriction create an environment in which even the most stubborn fibers are forced to adapt and become thicker to handle the load. This is work on the edge of endurance and pain. For the slow type of athlete, pumping is not just a cosmetic effect for the mirror, it is the core building process. Increasing sarcoplasmic volume, the growth of capillaries and glycogen stores make the muscles look visually massive and full, giving them that roundness that dry powerlifters often lack. However, it is important to understand high-rep training for growth is not about swinging pink dumbbells. It is work to deep failure, where the last few movements are performed through wild burning and a struggle with your own brain begging you to stop. This is psychological torture requiring an iron will. If you feel that heavy weights don't make you bigger, but only destroy your ligaments, yet you are capable of performing set after set with short rest, your strength is in volume. Accept your nature. Stop chasing records in a single rep and become a master of acidification. It is in this zone of discomfort that your true potential is hidden, simply waiting for you to stop training like everyone else and start using your slow fibers as your main asset in building a powerful physique.
We have come to the most important question. How do you apply this knowledge in practice so that you don't just understand theory but see real changes in the mirror? The main mistake of most trainees is blind devotion to one extreme. Power guys despise high-rep work, considering it a waste of time, while pumpers fear heavy weights like fire. But the truth, as always, lies at the intersection of these approaches, supplemented by individual tuning to your fiber type. Even if you've determined that you are a typical representative of the fast or slow type, your body is not a monolith, but a complex mosaic. In different muscle groups, the fiber ratio can vary radically. For example, your legs might be built for high-rep hell, while your chest muscles will only grow from heavy presses. To understand which method is effective specifically for you, conduct a simple test. Choose an exercise and take a weight that is approximately 80% of your maximum. If you are capable of performing more than 10 to 12 repetitions with it, you are a pronounced slow type. If you give up at the 5th or 6th rep, your fast fibers dominate. This knowledge is your compass. Adjust your program so that 70% of your training volume matches your dominant type, while the remaining 30% works on developing the opposite qualities. This will create comprehensive hypertrophy, called the total package. However, remember the most dangerous enemy: adaptation. Our body is incredibly lazy and always strives for homeostasis. If you do only 5 repetitions or only 20 year after year, progress will inevitably stop. This is where periodization comes into play. Even a fast athlete occasionally benefits from switching to a high-rep mode for a couple of weeks to give their joints a rest and improve tissue nutrition. Conversely, a slow athlete needs power cycles to increase myofibrillar density and teach the nervous system to recruit more motor units. This creates a supercompensation effect, where after a change in mode, the body starts to grow with new vigor. Ultimately, the best method is the one you can perform with maximum dedication over a long period. Genetics gives you the map, but you choose the route. Don't be afraid to experiment. If you've been training by the book for years but see no results, throw those books away. Try what seems wrong. Go into extreme high reps, or conversely, switch to a rugged power style. Your body itself will give a signal when you hit the mark. Muscle growth is not just biochemistry, it is the art of listening to your instincts. Become a researcher of your own organism. When you combine genetic predisposition with smart planning and iron discipline, the question of what is better will disappear by itself. You will simply know what works for you, and that will become your most powerful secret weapon in achieving the perfect form. Remember, Champions are not those who follow the rules, but those who find ways to make the rules work for them.